coaches with the handshake at midcourt. And we are ready for tonight's NC 2A volleyball match. Stuart Horn and Hunter Hornstein together again, your DU broadcasters on this, the 23rd of September, 2013. Well, Hunter, a couple of tough matches that we've called so far. Although the Penguins have had moments and stretches where they looked absolutely brilliant and could put up with anybody. I think they've eliminated a lot of the small mistakes from last year and by and large are a better team. But no question, the conference is getting better along with them, and they're going to have to adjust. One of those adjustments comes with the addition of Amanda Wasco, the 5'10 sophomore out of Honolulu. Now, she's a sophomore transfer, and she came over from D1 Utah and has been a great addition to the squad.
You know, on Saturday, she made her presence known, impacted immediately with the 12 kills, the 10 digs. She had herself a nice night. Wasco's one of those players that, again, the Penguins are relying heavily on to continue her strong play in the next couple of years for her and help this program reach new heights.
So Wasco, Powelson, Lee, Stocking, Rains, and Lardner out on the floor now after they rotate in Lee, the libero player, and out Powelson, the position player. Dixie State occupying the southern end of the Conlin Center tonight. They will have the side out. The visiting Red Storm. The 2-0 Red Storm against the 0-2 Penguins. Service will be Maddie Rex, the 5'10 junior out of Tucson. Right-handed from the back left corner, and she brings it to the back row. It's picked up by Powelson, set by Lardner. Left side Stocking, back row. A poor leave, and the Penguins with the opening point, Hunter.
And a good start once again for the Penguins. Last couple of nights ago it happened, and a couple of nights ago before that it happened against Point Loma.
Stocking with a kill, and the winner, Lardner, to serve. She runs up just a few feet right of center. She takes it to the back left corner. It's picked up by Rex, and now they set it to Young with the smash saved by Lee. Hannah dinks it to the middle. Flipped up now by Young. Penguins on defense. Lardner with a bump. Now Lee with a set. All Powelson can do is help it over. Flat-footed. Penguins in jail. Oh, brother, and Sam Raines with a brilliant block at the feet of the killing Mackenzie Bird. It's back at Bird's feet, 2-0 DU.
6-foot Mackenzie Bird tries to go up against the 6-foot Sam Raines and loses. A great job by Sam to come up to the net.
Next serve by the DUs, and the return by the left-handed Kendall Wayland is deep, 3-0 DU. Set number one, Kelsey Lardner, the 3-year lettering senior. And no doubt she'll end up with a fourth at the end of this season. Lardner, one of the best setters in the conference. Stocking with a big smash, but it's picked up nicely. Short set. Penguins pick it up. Wasco now. Doesn't get much on it from the right corner. And now the kill to Lardner and a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be the Red Storm's first point, and it is.
You know, Whelan there with the kill. The Penguins already in that rally showing that up front they are going to have to do their best to try to win the battle up against the net.
Bird with a serve, Stocking with a bump, Lardner with a set. Now Raines with a killer. Penguin point. And so far, the D's look great.
Yeah, Raines wins the mismatch with Shannon Young. Young, one of the shorter players on the court right now for the Red Storm, and Sam Raines taking advantage.
Jessica Jones comes in place from Powelson. 4-1 DU. A great serve from the Penguins, and it's dinked into the middle of the house by Shannon Young, and it drops. 4-2. Red Storm with an easy one there, Hunter. Shouldn't be that easy. Haley Wilkes now, the 5'7" sophomore out of Salt Lake City, will serve for Red Storm as she runs up on the line from the back right corner. High in the arms for Jones. Now Lee, back to Jessica. Goes to the back row. Helped up by Rex. Penguins on defense. Lardner bumps. Lee sets it into the corner. Wasco to the back row. And another soft set right into the middle by Shelby Sorensen. And again, Hunter, there it is. Penguins all, it's like when you drop a droplet of soap into a sink full of of pepper, they all moved toward the edges. That's what the Penguins did and left the middle exposed. How's that for an analogy? Now the Penguins are on offense. Jones helps it over.
You're in mid-season form, Stu.
I haven't used it before, but I'm going to use it again, I promise you. Now this one is bumped off of Lardner. Over to Wasco on the way, back row, a poor leave. Red Storm picks it up pretty nicely. Jones with a great save. Now Lardner a back sap, back to Wasco. Blocked up, saved by Hannah Stocking, bumped up by Amanda. And the long bomb by Jones is deep. Not saved by Amanda, but by Lardner. Still bumped out by Jones. 4 up now. And the Storm is really pouring it on.
And that's a tough one to swallow there, especially with the way that rally was going and how good the Penguins play defense.
Wilkes now with the service error is very long, and Lee at the last second let it go, and she comes out. Sari Kwan will come in, and Sam Raines will come out. Also in there for the DUs is Megan Callan. Here comes Kwan now, up on the end line. Just a beautiful serve to the back left corner. Picked up by Wilkes. Softed over, just catches the top of the net, but rolls on. Penguins now on offense. Jones off the front row. Penguins on defense now. They swing it way outside over to Shannon Young with a killer. It's 5 up.
Yeah, Shannon Young again making it known that although she's only 5'9", she still can get that big hit when she needs to, and again takes advantage of the backcourt. Everybody crashing in, nobody in the back other than Kelsey Lardner.
Sheila Uluave has come in place of Shannon Young, and she'll serve. 5'9" senior out of St. George, Utah, with a service ace at the feet of Kelsey Lardner. 6'5" Storm. Uluave again. She bounces it 3 times and runs way up on it. Right to the end line. Kwan with a bump, Lardner with a set. And Callan with the kill. And that looked awfully nice. That was a perfect bump and just a tremendous set, 6 up. And here comes Amanda Wasco, the first-year Penguin, a few feet right of center line. She runs up on it, now goes to the middle. Now to the front row. They take it back over to the left side, and a big hit by Rex, but the Penguins are there. Callan with a bump, Hannah with a set. Now JJ, back row, saved by the libero player, Kristen Haywood. Penguins now in the back row. A poor leave and helped over by Lardner, that sneaky move Lardner likes to pull once in a while. And the Penguins stay alive. Wasco now at the net. She sets it to Callan. Callan helps it over. And the kill counts, 7-6 DU.
Well, these two teams aren't the flashiest that you're going to see. However, they're very methodical in their ball passing, and they're very consistent. It's beautiful to watch that these two teams going back and forth, not trying to do too much.
It really is. And as we mentioned, the Red Storm already have a couple wins tonight, but not over ranked opponents by any means. And now the attempted kill by Maddie Rex finds the net, and the Penguins lead by 2, 8-6.
And especially with the way the last game went on Saturday against Scal Baptist, the Penguins had to feel like they can stay with anybody here as long as they keep it close, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, you're right. They've hung tough with a couple of really good teams. 8-6, the Penguins lead. Here's Lardner with the backward bump set. Not a back set, but a bump set back to the back row. Saved by Jones digging. Lardner with it. Now Wasco goes to the middle. A nice kill attempt. Oh, no, and Hannah Stocking thought Sari Kwan was going to break in from the back row, so she let it go. Kwan thought Stocking was going to take it. 8-7. Storm trails by 1. Nicole Keeler to serve, the 6'1" junior out of Sandy. From the center line, she goes back to Kwan. A poor leave. Yeah, Kwan had that down at her shoe tops, tried to leave it in the front row, but got it over the net, and the Red Storm pounding it back at him. 8-8. You just can't make that kind of mistake. Here's the next serve, and Kwan with a better leave, this time into the front row. Callan tried that scoop move that she's made famous, but it didn't work this time. The Storm read it perfectly. 3 unanswered, 9-8 Red Storm.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time she's tried to go to that. Mackenzie Bird this time reads it beautifully, though, and is able to stop her. So these are the adjustments Callan's going to have to make.
Keeler to Kwan. Jones, the kill shot is long, 10-8, Dixie.
It always seems like Jones takes a little while to get locked in, get the sights set there. That's the second one that she's hit long.
Kwan with a bump. They're really focused on Sari Kwan now. And Stocking comes in with a kill attempt from the back row, and that's deep. You know, it's so hard from the back row to get the angle and get it to drop. And of course, Stocking is one of our taller players, so if anybody could do it, it would be her. But you have so little room for error with a shot like that. 11-8 now, Dixie. And set number 1 here on Penguin Radio. Keeler to serve. Stocking with a bump. Lardner with a set. Callan with a smash. Deep. Another one. 3 in a row on her that have been too long. And the Penguins can't get it together. Everything's deep. Timeout. Gail Stammer. Ugh.
It's a good job, though, by Stammer to call a timeout and recognize that her girls are starting to press a little bit. After you saw Callan try to do that quick move and it was stopped, she goes ahead and tries to get the big hit. Doesn't work. 2 consecutive big hits by Jones, and then another one by Hannah Stocking that don't fall in, and sometimes that's going to rattle you a little bit, but not for the Penguins.
Gail Stammer, head coach of women's volleyball, and you are listening to Penguin Radio.
Yeah, Penguin
Gail
Radio. DJ Swag on the engineering tonight. 12-8. The Penguins trail here after leading by 2. It was 8-6 a minute ago, Hunter, and it's been 6 unanswered now. Dixie's really getting it together. And there's a combination of things. Dixie's getting it together as the end of the timeout has come. And the Penguins just committed 3 errors long consecutively. That's a bad combination. As they get it together and we're not getting it together, Keeler to serve. The D's need to really focus now. Keep the ball in play first and foremost. Wasko with a bump. And the set. Back corner, nice shot. Set up by Callan. Penguins now, Wasko bumps it up. Lardner with a nice set. Over to Powelson, who dinks it. Now Hannah Stocking, back to Powelson. And the smash into the back row. Picked up by Anderson. Penguins now on defense. And the Penguins with the point after the kill attempt falls wide left on the overhead by Maddie Rex. And Rex doesn't miss many of them, Hunter.
And those are one of those errors that sometimes can put you back on track. And we'll see if the Lady Penguins can capitalize here as they get the ball back.
12-9, fans. Penguins trail by 3. Helped over by Anderson. Now the Penguins are on offense. Kwan to Lardner to Callan. And the killer, 12-10. So since the timeout, the Penguins rattle off 2 in a row. Madeline Powelson, the 5'10 freshman, first-year Penguin. You would suspect if she's a freshman. And she goes 8 miles deep on the serve. Powelson got 2 pumped.
Right off the hand there, you could tell, and everyone could tell that that was going to go long, and that's just one of those mental mistakes. Doesn't happen too often, and it will. She's a freshman, but she'll learn. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Not
Service
yet,
now by Sorensen. To Powelson. Over to Hannah, softly into the middle, diving, a poor leave. Somehow Anderson gets it back across. Now Powelson with a bump, Lardner with a set. Hannah with a kill, blocked, interface. Penguins get it back, Hannah again. Off balance, back corner Anderson. Bumps it up the libero player. Now Rex to the corner. Wasko sets it up to, oh, I've never seen one actually hit the wall, and that got to the last row of the grandstands. I've never seen one up that high. 13 years of volleyball. That's the highest ever, 14-10. Out of here, unfortunately. Penguins trail by 4 now. Here's Sorensen. And a short set, Callan scooped it. And they finally get her on it. I was waiting for them, Hunter. You know, that move she's been pulling has been totally effective, and she gets yanked back in their reins. But Callan does that little move, and she's got to be careful, because if you scoop it, it doesn't count. So Lee now spins the ball in her hands, and she'll serve it up from the center line. She goes back corner. Ooh, last minute Rex. 2-touch. Rex couldn't decide to hit her right in the neck. She couldn't decide whether to get it high in the arms, and at the last instant turned her hands over upside down and scooped it out of there. Penguins trail by 2, 14-12. Lee again. Lee with just a dive-bombing, brilliant serve. Now softed over. Raines taps it off the top of the net. Lardner, oh brother. Penguins with some miscommunication, but Powelson gets it across nicely. Here's the kill attempt by Weiland. The Penguins on defense now. Wasko from the back row with a nice bump. Here's the set. Hannah gets it across. Now Weiland again. And the Penguins with a block. And, oh, brother, how the Red Storm saved it, I'll never know. And the short set goes off the front row, and they get, no, it wasn't blocked. I thought it was tipped out off of the Red Storm, and they give the point to the Red Storm. 15-12, the Penguins trail by 3. Some great play there.
Another tough break for Dominican there. And you saw a couple of times the Red Storm somehow keep that ball alive after what you surely must have thought would be a point to the Penguins. It just didn't go that way.
Maddie Rex now with the serve. Softly, Hannah Stocking finds the middle. Red Storm breaks in on it. Weiland bumps it out of bounds. Weiland, an errant bump. I'm surprised. Well, she doesn't make a lot of mistakes. 15-13. The D's will take it. Only one service error, one for each team so far. Here's Kelsey Larger, team captain. Runs up, tons of topspin. It falls down. No problem. The kill attempt by Shannon Young, and the Penguins are there to block it. Held back over by Rex. Lardner sets it over to Hannah. Blocked into the outstretched arms of Powelson. And the Storm gets it. Hunter, I didn't see how that ended. All I saw was the ball bouncing on the Red Storm side.
Yeah, I think they got both of us here, but Gail Stammer's going to go ahead and call a timeout as the Red Storm get another point. And at this point, you need to be able to don't let them run away with this. I mean, you started off so well early.
Yep. It's 16-13 fans, and Gail Stammer has called the timeout. It's set number 1 here at the Conlin Center. Dominican University of California hosting the Dixie State Red Storm in NC2A volleyball.
Hey, this is Valerie Larson. I'm a DS for Dominican University, and you're listening to Penguin Radio.
That's right, Penguin Radio, broadcasting worldwide from Mumbai to Dubai, from the Yukon to the Euphrates, all corners of the universe and beyond. It is radio.dominican.edu. Hunter Hornstein, alongside yours truly, Stuart Horn. We'll have DJ Swag back here in the middle game, in the second game, and hopefully it'll go more than that. I'd like to see a lot of volleyball tonight, and perhaps if the DUs can play their cards right, get their first NC2A win of the season. Penguins are 1-9 overall. They've had a tough preseason, over 0-2 since the conference began just a few days ago. Very early in this campaign. Here's the service now by Alex Anderson. She serves it up, and a terrible leave by the bump was actually by Sam Raines there, Hunter, and she left it way out of bounds, and Stocking couldn't even come close to getting to it. And for some reason, how is it that they gave it to the Penguins? It must have been, what happened? What was it?
Red Storm touched the net.
Oh, the Storm fell into the net. All right, the D's will take it 16-14. Here's Hannah with a serve. Back row. Well, that Stocking is just so good off the service line. And the kill from Whalen falls. And it's 17-14. Hunter, why don't you take the play-by-play?
17-14 here in game number 1. Lady Penguins taking on the Red Storm. And it'll be number 1, Haley Wilkes back to serve. Bumped up by Hannah Stocking. Set for Wasco, who puts it away emphatically. That was the biggest hit of the night there, Stu, by the Lady Penguins, and it came at a pretty good time. 17-15 now, Dominican trail. Sari Kwan will go back to serve. In comes Callan as Sam Raines takes a seat. In the middle for the Red Storm. There's a set on the right side, bumped up, and the kill attempt is blocked in the middle. In the back row, Kwan bumps it up for Wasco, right side, tries to hit it. Ball still alive. Over to the Red Storm. Blocked in front of the net by Callan. Somehow it's saved by Dixie State. Back to the Penguins. Bumped up by Hannah Stocking. There's Kelsey Lardner. Wasco one more time. Off the hands. Saved in the back row. Helped across on the Penguins. Callan tries to put it away off the hands of Wilkes and out of bounds. Point to the Penguins.
Wow, what a tremendous overhead smash, and the DUs with authority. Punishing blow there. 17-16. That was a nice play, Hunter.
And a very good rally that could have gone either way, and the Penguins finally are able to show up on the right side of it. Sari Kwan back to serve, and it's a little too much, a service error as Wilkes immediately let it go. And just like that, the Lady Penguins give the ball back. It's 18-16 now, Dominican trails.
Seems a shame to win that long rally on the previous point, do all that work for 1 point, and then give it right away on the service error.
Shelby Sorensen back to serve. Bumped up by Sari Kwan. Powelson to Hannah Stocking, who will help it across into the back row. Set in front of the net. Blocked by Powelson.
Point comes off of Powelson's hands, off of the block. And there's more than one way to get a point in this game.
Nicole Kohler tried to test out the young freshman, and Powelson said no way. Wasco with the serve. over to the Red Storm. The kill by Rex is blocked in front of the net. Callan tries to help it across. Diving attempt by Wilkes keeps it alive. Back to the Penguins. Powelson one more time. Off the hands. Blumped up by the Penguins. Still alive. Callan will let it go. Off the hands of Sari Kwan. And the Penguins make another crucial error. Point to the Red Storm. It's 19-17.
The Red Storm 2-0 in conference. They beat Holy Names a couple nights ago. Then Notre Dame, Namur.
Kohler back to serve.
And tomorrow night will end their road trip.
They'll head back to St. George in Utah. The Penguins, meanwhile, touch the ball one too many times, and the point goes the way of Dixie State. They've entered the red zone, their 20th point. Dominican trails 20-17 here in set number 1.
Red Storm has hit the red zone. Yeah, tomorrow night they play at Academy of Art at Kezar Pavilion, the venerable Kezar Pavilion.
Kohler with the serve. Callan will help it across. Diving attempt by Wilkes. Back over to the Penguins. There's Lardner. Callan one more time, and this time she gets it.
Wow, that was very athletic. Callan is really showing up the last couple of games, Hunter. I know you agree. She can hit the ball so hard. She's 6 feet tall, or in fact, she is listed at 6'1", the tallest Penguin, and hits it the hardest.
Powelson with the serve. Back row for Dixie State. They need to clear it. They will. Wasco bumps it up. Lardner will set for Hannah Stocking on the left side, and she gets it in. Off the hands of Sorensen. A kill for Stocking. Point for the Penguins. They've cut the lead to 1. They trail 20-19.
That was an absolutely perfect leave by the senior, Kelsey Lardner.
Powelson with the serve. Dug out by Wilkes. There's a set in front of the net, helped across, and in front of a diving Wasco and Powelson. The Red Storm find open court. They get the point, 21-19.
Yeah, the old fake from the setter. She looks like she's going to back set it and then just helps it over at the last second. And the Penguins had all moved to the outside of the court, nobody in the center.
Sorensen with the long serve for the error. Penguins with the point, 21-20. It's back to a 1-point game.
Both teams in the red zone now. You don't see that too often.
Sam Raines back in the game. Callan will take a seat. Sari Kwan will take a seat. Amanda Lee in the game. Back to serve. Here we go. Bumped up, set for the Red Storm. Off the hands of Sam Raines. There's Lardner. Sets for Stocking, who gets it in.
Wow. Stocking's able to get it around the right side of Kendall Whalen into that totally unoccupied back left corner, Hunter. That was great court awareness.
We're all tied up at 21. The Dixie State Red Storm head coach Robin Felder will call a timeout as she tries to rally her troops. On the other side, Gail Stammer emphatically speaking to her young lady Penguins.
It's anybody's game now, Hunter. And again, just like the game 1 against Baptist, getting off the schneid, especially when you're at home, you win set number 1, and it makes such a difference for the team moving forward that evening. The Penguins have not won a set 1 yet, but they've come close. No closer than this, though. It's tied up now, and I would sure like to see the Penguins, get going the right direction. Can they possibly? And remember, they've been playing catch-up most of this game. If they can hang tough now, they have the advantage of the service. If they can win this set, this would be awesome.
Lee back to serve. Yeah, the best of 5, Stu. You do need to get off to a good start. Helped across by the Penguins. And the Dixie State Red Storm fell into the net, and the Penguins with the point, 22-21. But you have to get off to a good start in a best of 5. That first win is so crucial, and like you mentioned, the Penguins haven't been able to get off to that good start early yet.
Mackenzie Bird flies into the net, and the Penguins lead by 1.
Lee with the serve. Back row for the Penguins. Set by the Red Storm, kill blocked by Wasco. Up, there's Hannah Stocking on the left side. Back left corner, she gets it.
Wow. Stocking's last 2 points, Hunter, have been absolutely flawless. She has her court awareness tonight has been tremendous. She sees that back row open and takes advantage of it.
She gets thread and needle, 23-21. Dixie State. Back row for the Penguins. Lardner, again, Hannah Stocking. This time she just helps it across a little deke hit, and she gets it. She's done it all tonight. She's hit the ones in the backcourt. That time she helps it across. It falls in, 24-21.
That was set up by a great save off of the serve by Wasco. Set point here.
Set point serve. There's Lee. Front of the net for Dixie State, off the hands of Lardner. Back row, Wasco puts it up. Goes to Hannah Stocking again, and she hits it into the net.
This time a little bit late. She actually tried to soft it over from the 10-foot line, Hunter, and it just dropped and hit the tape. It could have gone over.
Shannon Young comes back in for Dixie State. Number 18, Maddie Rex, back to serve. 24-22. Into the back row. Lardner now over to Stocking, puts it away. No, she doesn't. Bumped up. Sorensen sets it for number 15, Weiland. Over to the left side. There's Young off the hands of Lardner. Diving stop by Wasco, and it's put, somehow it's still alive. Back row for the Dixie State Red Storm. Now over to the Penguins. There's Lardner for Stocking, blocked in front of the net. Dug out beautifully by the Penguins. Wasco, back row, bumped up for the Red Storm. On the left side, just helped across over to Powelson, who sets for Lardner. Sam Raines tries to put it away. Nice diving stop. She does it again and puts it away this time. And the Penguins get the point. 25-22, your final in set number 1. The Penguins steal one, Stu.
Well, you're not kidding. After they come roaring back, trailing by as many as 5 points at one point in that game, Hunter, the Penguins really did a number.
Yeah, Santa, that whole... Back and forth the whole time, and that last one there, Stu, and
you guys take it.
That last one, as I bring in Noelle Roldan here, as we move into set number 2, that last one, Sam Raines got 2 cracks at it. She tried to put it away, was bumped up early, then it was just up in front of the net for anybody's ball. This time she just helps it across, able to find open court on the right side. That's the killer, the 25-22 your final.
That's exactly what we need, though, from Samantha Raines. She came in, she held on to it, she put it right back. I'm noticing that the Lady Penguins are playing with a certain volleyball IQ tonight, a lot smarter than I have seen in the past, and it's exciting to watch. They're getting to the holes, they're finding the gaps, and they're putting the ball away just like they need to.
Stu alluded to it, saying Hannah Stocking with the court awareness, and she really showed that once the Penguins got to the red zone. 2 hits immediately into the back corner where she was able to literally thread a needle and find open court, and then she just helped it across when she had to, when she found open court in the middle.
Well, it's nice to see her play with a certain finesse as well, you know. It's not always about just powering it through the block. She's also being smart. She's seeing the gaps. You know, the Penguins have had that problem lately where they just all spread and leave the middle wide open, but tonight I'm noticing that the Red Storm is actually having that problem, and luckily for us, our hitters are being smart, and Hannah Stocking is just putting these little dinkers right in the middle, and you can just totally see that the Red Storm is getting completely irritated with it.
Hannah Stocking with 6 kills so far, pacing the Penguins. Wasco with 3, Callan with 3, and Callan was another one of those players who is doing the same thing. Can get the big hit, but it can also help it across and show some finesse when she needs to.
Well, and not only that too, I haven't really seen Callan much the past few games, and just she has stepped up so much just this game alone. I'm actually enjoying what I'm seeing. She's got a nice little slide from behind Kelsey Lardner, these short sets. She's killing it across the court. I'm hoping that she keeps doing what she's doing because we need it. It's definitely bringing the Lady Penguins a whole nother dynamic, not just our outside and right side.
3 kills for Megan Callan. Her roommate, Samantha Raines, with 2. Wasco with 3, like we mentioned, and of course Hannah Stocking leading the pack with 6. On Dixie State side, it's been Shannon Young and Kendall Wieland with 3 apiece. Shelby Sorensen with 2, Nicole Kohler with 2, and Mackenzie Bird with 1. Other than that, not a whole lot of threats from one particular player.
No, they're pretty well-rounded tonight. I've noticed everybody's scoring. I mean, we're seeing Wasco, as always, who's been an amazing transfer for us. Hannah Stocking. One person that I think needs to tame her spike a little bit and maybe just make sure that she snaps that wrist is Jessica Jones. But, you know, she's a huge leader for this team, so the energy that she brings alone is a big deal.
4 years so far. This is the 4th and final year for Jessica Jones as we get underway in set number 2. Kelsey Lardner nearly gets the service ace. Instead, it's helped across by the Penguins. Lardner bumps it up for Lee, bumps it up on the right side for Wasco. Wasco to the back court for Dixie State. There's the set, helped across. Bird over to Lardner. Now to Lee, back to Wasco, who hits it a little too far, finds the back court, but it's out of bounds, and Dixie State strikes first on an error by the Penguins. It's 1-0. You mentioned Jessica Jones might be the only one that needs to maybe kind of funnel it, but she's also a player that once she gets going, she can be streaky in the sense that she'll just go on the offensive and roll off kill after kill.
She's definitely a zone player. Like, once she gets into that zone, you can't really stop her.
Hannah Stocking finds the middle of the court, helps it across, with the point, ties it up, the equalizer. We're at 1. She goes back to serve. The Penguins now on the south side of the Conlin Center. The Q on your keyboard at home. A service error by the Penguins as Hannah Stocking puts a little too much English on it. 2-1 now. And instead of the beautiful rallies that we saw in game 1, a couple of errors here leading to early points for both teams.
Well, Dominican's just going to need to eliminate some of these unforced errors. And if they can, they're going to be looking at a win.
Wilkes back to serve. There's Sam Raines who puts it away with a kill off the hands of Anderson.
I think it's good that Raines and Callan are roommates. They're clearly feeding off each other.
They also room with Becca Shira, who is a sophomore. Hasn't seen any time yet, but it's still early. Sari Kwan back to serve for the Penguins. 2-2 here as we enter set number 2. Blocked in front of the net by Powelson. Dug out by the Red Storm. Over to the Penguins. Powelson on the far left side hits it too far out into the backcourt. 3-2 now. Dixie State takes the advantage.
Dominican's really going to need to just snap that wrist and make sure that they hit the ball, stay in the zone, and put it away like they were in the last game.
Young to serve. Powelson finds it. Goes right to Lardner, who sets for Wasco behind her. Wasco tries to put it away in the backcourt. Nothing doing. Penguins on with the ball, giving it to Powelson, who gets blocked by number 13, Shelby Sorensen, who immediately tells my fault as the ball goes off her hands and out of bounds. We're all tied up again, 3-3. A good block in the front there by the Penguins. Amanda Wasco back to serve. The transfer sophomore. Dug out by the Red Storm. On the far side, right side, there's Sari Kwan. Lardner to Callan, who gets blocked in front of the net. Ball still alive. Kwan helps it across. Dixie State sets for Rex. Diving attempt by Wasco, digs it out. Powelson, far outside, blocked in front of the net, but there's Wasco. Lardner, back to Powelson. Off the hands of Wilkes, and it's a point and a kill for the Penguins. 4-3.
That was a monster hit by Powelson. I love seeing a freshman go out there and just doing what she's got to do, not hesitating.
4-3, Wasco with the serve, bumped up, helped across instead actually by the Penguins. They look like they might have been fooled there. A desperation attempt by Sari Kwan to clear the ball. It goes too far outside though, and the point will be awarded to Dixie State, again tied at 4 apiece. And neither team has really held a lead for more than 1 or 2 points, if anything. Nearly a service ace by the Red Storm, helped across now by Hannah Stocking into the back. Wilkes over to Haywood, who now enters the game. Helped across again by Rex. Pancake save by the Penguins. Kwan helps it across. Back row, Dixie State. Set. Rex one more time. Off the hands of Callan, and a point for the Red Storm.
I've noticed lately that the Lady Penguins have been having a lot of rallies. It's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. It's kind of refreshing to see because it means that their defense has definitely stepped up.
5-4 now, as Kohler goes back to serve. Kwan to Lardner, who tries to help it across. Doesn't get anything as Haywood meets her up in front of the net and rejects it. 6-4 now. Dixie State has extended their lead to 2. Rex to serve. Lardner helps it across, bumped up in front of the net by the Red Storm. Cleared by Wilkes. Lardner in front of the net. Callan tries to put it away. They're going to call her for being...
Kill by Callan. Point.
Well, they're going to give her the point and they're going to give her the kill. Look like Rex is questioning, and either way, the Penguins get the point. They cut the deficit to 1 at 6-5.
I'm not exactly sure what the call is. Both coach and player are looking a little bit confused right now.
Felder shakes her head. She didn't like whatever explanation she got. Powelson with the serve. Back row. Wilkes over to Rex. Blocked in front of the net by Callan. Goes out of bounds though.
Blocked by Lardner and Callan. Point.
I have been impressed.
They get the point. It stayed in bounds. Excuse me, Noel. I'm sorry. Now we're tied at 6.
Here we go.
Sorensen back to serve. Kwan to Lardner. to Stocking, helps it across, bumped up by Anderson. Rex will try to find the back row. She will, in front of a diving Sari Kwan. 7-6. Red Storm take the lead. Sorensen back to serve. Sorensen was named to the Final Five in the Pac West after having a pretty impressive weekend for Dixie State. Here's Callan with the kill attempt. Put too much English on it and went out of bounds. Dixie State with the point, 9-5. And Gail Stammers forced to call a timeout.
I think that was right, though. Gail needs to get her girls to calm down just a little bit right now because they're obviously getting a little bit ahead of themselves. They need to start snapping the ball and making sure that they get the job done.
This is Kelsey Lardner, senior setter for Dominican University, and you're listening to Penguin Radio.
Back here, Conlin Center. Glad to have you aboard. Hunter Hornstein, Noel Roldan, Stuart Horn, your broadcasters for tonight. The Dixie State Red Storm in the house. Just roughly about 700 miles traveled here to San Rafael from St. George, Utah, as they continue their road trip here on the West Coast. In the Bay Area, they visited Notre Dame Dana Muir on Saturday. Tomorrow they will head to Academy of Art University before traveling back home. The Lady Penguins finishing their final game here at home after a Thursday, Saturday, Monday homestand. Away we go, Hannah Stocking. And the Red Storm now with the ball. Wilkes to the back row. Kwan and Wasco clear it. Callan tries to kill it, blocked in front of the net. Hannah Stocking takes a crack at it off the hands of Wilkes. There's Rex who puts it away off the hands of Lardner, who somehow saves it. The ball is still alive. Back to the Red Storm, and it's into the net.
That's what the Penguins needed right there, that side out. Hopefully they can capitalize and turn it into some positive points for them.
That was Wheeland who an off-balance, awkward hit right into the net, and the Penguins with the point. It's 9-6 now. They trail as the serve is now in play, and oh my goodness. That was Haywood who just put it away, and really nothing Amanda Lee could do about it. Amanda Lee could do about it. It's 10-6 now. Back to serve, Dixie State and Maddie Rex. Over to Hannah Stocking, who goes to Lardner. They'll go to Rains, who tries to help it across. Rex is right there, though, bumps it up. Helped across by the Red Storm, and a point for Wheelan one more time. 11-6.
I know I've said before that 8 and 14 were their go-tos, but it looks like Wheelan, number 15 tonight, has been putting in a lot of work for the Red Storm.
And number 14, Nicole Kohler, really hasn't been as much of a factor as we had previously anticipated. Dixie State leads 11-6 in front of the net. Here's Hannah Stocking, who gets rejected up front by Alex Anderson. Kristen Haywood.
I think it's going to be important, too, that she keeps playing with that finesse. I'm kind of noticing that the Lady Penguins are kind of getting a little bit ahead of themselves, not playing as smart as they were before.
Maddie Rex back to serve. Here in set number 2, the Penguins won this first one. So a little bit of breathing room, something they haven't had the luxury of lately. Kelsey Lardner will set for Powelson, who tries to find the back row and doesn't, as it is hit just a little too hard. And another point goes to Dixie State, 13-6 now. And if the Penguins don't figure something out, they're going to go to set 3, all tied at 1.
It's important that they don't let them run away with this lead as well.
Dominican won the first set 25-22. Here's Hannah Stocking, who tries to put it away and gets blocked in front of the net by Hayward. That was Hayward and Wheeland who went up, and Hannah Stocking really had no answer for either of them. Point to the Red Storm, 14-6 now. And Noel, you mentioned it, you don't want this to turn into a blowout, especially after such a hard-fought win in set number 1.
Especially since we had the momentum in set number 1. It's important that we keep that.
So far, it's been all Dixie State. Here's the serve by the Red Storm. Wasco tries to put it away off the hands of Haywood, and it's out of bounds, and a kill for Wasco. And the transfer sophomore, 14-7, lead cut in half.
I'm impressed with Wasco because she's always that clutch player, too, that tries to get the turning point in the game.
Kelsey Lardner back to serve. Back row for Dixie State, bumped up by Sorensen. Set for Wheeland, and Wheeland puts it away. 15-7.
You know, the Dixie State coach must have said something to him. They're coming out here and playing flawlessly.
Firing on all cylinders, you could say. Hayward with the serve. Jessica Jones, who's now into the game, to Kelsey Lardner, who goes back to Jessica Jones. Nice job by Young to save it. Off the hands of Sam Raines. Pancake saved by Jones. Powelson will clear it. Ball still alive. Back row for Dixie State. Wheeland helps it across. Powelson to Lardner, to Wasco. Dug out by Sorensen. In front of the net, Wheeland thought about it. Instead, just helps it across. Sam. No, it's going to be Jessica Jones. Back row, bumped up. Sorensen again. Number 3, Hannah Young helps it across. Ball still alive. Sam Raines off the hands of Kohler, and a point for the Penguins.
It's good to see the Penguins using their middles like that. I've noticed that in the past they haven't really set the short set, and lately they've been doing that, and Raines and Callan have been doing a marvelous job at putting it away.
15-8. Right side, Wheeland puts it away off the hands of Powelson and Raines. Whelan's just been wearing them out. She's going to take a seat now as the lead is extended 16-8. Wiltz comes back in. Haley, who's a sophomore, 5'7", out of Salt Lake, just about 300 miles north of St. George. Here's the serve. Kelsey Lardner over to Powelson, off the hands, in front of the net. Dixie State keeps it alive. They go back to Young, who puts it away. She immediately says that the Penguins touched it. They don't get the call, though, as the point goes to the Penguins. 16-9.
Shannon Young really wanted that call. She keeps staring over at the refs. It's frustrating, you know. The refs hold a lot of say in volleyball. Oh, I guess in any sport.
Sari Kwan with the serve, 16-9, and oh, wow, there goes Maddie Rex right in the middle, had a perfect ball and just punished it in the backcourt. 17-9. Hannah Stocking back in the game. Jessica Jones will take a seat.
The Lady Penguins are going to need somebody to step up right now. We got to find someone to energize this team. They're looking a little low.
Shannon Young back to serve. Lardner to Callan, who helps it across, but it's blocked by Dixie State off the hands in the back row. Cleared by Hannah Stocking. Back row Wilkes. Sorensen to Rex. Rex kills it, and a point to Dixie State. 18-9. I don't know about you, Noel. This one looks like it might be wrapped up already. Dixie State.
Well,
just an offensive outburst here in set number 2.
I couldn't agree more. The Penguins kind of dug themselves a hole in this one.
Young, meanwhile, goes ahead and gives the Penguins a point. Gifts wraps it in the fashion of a service error. Wasco back to serve, 18-10 now. The Penguins have finally got to double digits. Wasco, cross-court serve, off the hands of Young, and Young makes another mistake. That ball's off her hands. Service ace.
Shanked.
And after the 2 mistakes, Young's going to take a seat. Uluave back in the game. There's a delay as the judges are now talking to each other, and it looks like
there's blood on the court, Hunter.
Don't know who is bleeding. Just speculating as we're looking over down to Josh Sims, who's the trainer for Dominican. It looks like that's Sam Raines there. Might be a nosebleed. And members of the game day staff, Casey Gibson, a graduate, the class of 2012, helping clean up some of the mess there. And looks like Sam's going to be okay. She checks her jersey, make sure there's no blood on there.
She might have got popped in the nose across the net, perhaps, from the Red Storm. I heard that they're pretty nasty down there.
We're just speculating here in set number 2. 18-11. And the Penguins took the time during the momentary pause to regroup and talk to themselves out in the court. Wasco back to serve now. We're ready to go. And looks like Sam Raines is going to be okay. That's Nicole Kohler, who put a little too much mustard on her kill attempt. It goes out of bounds. The Penguins with the point, 18-12. Wasco back to serve, do it again. The Penguins here, if they go on a run, could make it interesting in set number 2 after winning set number 1. Set by Sorensen off the hands of the Penguins. There's Kwan over to Powelson. Powelson bumped up in front of the net. Dixie State helps it across. Wasco to Lardner, who sets for Callan, helps it across. Did she get enough? No.
Point, Red Storm.
Point to the Red Storm. She, again, that quick set, tried to help it across real quick, like got a little too much on it and wasn't able to find it inside the line. Went out of bounds, 19-12 now. Red Storm closing in on the red zone. Lardner in front of the net at the serve. Callan puts it away off the hands of Nicole Kohler.
Kohler's looking at herself, wondering how that even shanked off her wrist.
Powelson serving.
Maybe the frustration put out there. My goodness. Callan possesses a cannon. Back to serve, Powelson.
Callan with the cannon.
Callan with the Callan. Callan with the cannon. That's what we meant. There's Powelson in front of the net, bumped up. Callan keeps it alive, helped across, cleared, and the Penguins will get called for being in the net though.
Point, Red Storm.
The Red Storm get the point. It's now 20-13. They've entered the red zone.
Sorensen serving.
Sorensen will go back to serve. Trying to end it in set number 2 and tie this thing up at 1. It'll guarantee us set number 4. Callan off the hands of
Kill by Callan. Point, Penguins.
off the Red Storm, and again, Callan.
Uluave.
That was Sheila Ulaave, the senior from St. George, Utah. It was off her hands, and again, Callan showing off that arm. Point for the Penguins, 20-14. Set by Sorensen. Alex Anderson. Kristen Haywood puts it away. Haywood wears number 6. Anderson wears number 8. And with the Penguins got the point, excuse me. Haywood wears number 6, Anderson wears number 8, and the way their ponytails are, I can't tell if one's a 6 or one's an 8. Meanwhile, Dixie State goes ahead and gives it to Rex, who puts it away. 21-15 now.
Rex serving.
And Rex will go back to serve.
Dixie State's rallying right now. You can see they're really trying to put this away, tie up this match set.
Hannah Stocking bumps it up. Kelsey Lardner helps it across quickly off the hands of Rex, and a point for the Penguins.
And there she is, as Stuart Horn said, the craftiest setter in the Pacific Conference. That's what we like to see from Kelsey Lardner.
Very veteran move by the senior. Runs up and serves it, back row. Dixie State, set by Sorensen. And that looked like Wheelan, who puts it away.
Point, Red Storm. Hayward.
Samantha Raines out there right now playing with a huge wad of toilet paper in her nose.
Gamer.
She looks like she's ready to play.
22-16, Dixie State leads. Wasco on the far right side tries to kill it, instead Wayland with the block.
Point, Red Storm.
That's exactly what the Lady Penguins were worried about before coming into the game. These girls, these blockers out here are known for, you know, closing the block and making sure that you can't get through. And in the first game, they were doing a great job, as you said before, like literally needle and thread, making it through the holes. But for some reason this game, I feel like they haven't really found that hole.
And Gail Stammer, meanwhile, calls a timeout. You're listening to Penguin Radio, Dominican Volleyball.
Hi, I'm Megan Callan. I'm a middle blocker for Dominican, and this is Penguin Radio.
And just in case you weren't sure, Megan Callan wants to reinforce the message. Megan Callan has been unbelievable so far tonight, as she got off to a hot start in game number 1. Might have cooled off early in set number 2, but looks like she's starting to pick it up a little bit.
Callan with a cannon. I'm telling you. She's been hitting hitting so hard. And it's not that they're not getting to her. It's not like they're not getting to her spike. They're literally getting to it, trying to dig it, and it's just shanking off them.
That's what happens when it's hit too hard, and Callan has definitely put that on display. The Penguins, meanwhile, trail 23-16 here in set number 2. Haywood goes back to serve. Haywood sporting number 6. And has grown the ponytail just long enough so it covers the top of the 6 and Makes it all confusing to see if she's either number 6 or number 8. Helped across by Hannah Stocking. And the Well-Rolled Dan gets a little fired up as the Penguins get the point, 23-17.
Well, like I said before, it's just good to see her play with that finesse and that volleyball IQ. Literally putting the ball where no one's at.
Really understanding her game as she serves it in front of the net by the Penguins. They get the point.
Point, Penguins.
23-18. Hannah Stocking back to serve. Cross-court serve, back row. Set for Whalen, blocked in front of the net by Powelson and Sam Raines.
Blocked by Raines. Point.
I've noticed the freshman is doing a really great job at closing that block with her middle, whether it's Raines and Callan. I mean, you can count on both Raines and Callan to get there, but it's impressive to see from a freshman.
Raines, who's sporting the, like you mentioned, the wad of toilet paper in her nose. Unaffected so far. Wasco with a very athletic hit to clear the ball as the Red Storm will go ahead and give it to Young. She hits it off the hands of Sam Raines and a kill for Young. Point to the Red Storm, 24-19. This next one for Dixie State will do it. It's set point. Haley Wilkes back to serve. Dixie State wins. We're tied up at 1. There's the serve. Hannah Stocking. Back row, bumped up by Anderson. Set by Sorensen, helped across. Diving attempt by Kelsey Lardner, keeps the ball alive. Cleared by Stocking, bumped up in front of the net again. Sorensen helps it across, and it gets in there just in front of a diving Hannah Stocking. The Red Storm with the point, that'll do it. Dixie State goes ahead and wins set number 2. We're tied up at 1. 25-19 your final. And we will take a quick break. When we come back, set number 3. Lady Penguins will try to regroup as they head back into the locker room. You're listening to Penguin Radio, Dominican Volleyball, Pac West Play 2013. Off that first loss, and that's something that they haven't had really to deal with, as the last time they played, that was against NDNU. They swept them. However, the 2 games, in games 2 and 3, they had to win in extra points. So they are very used to being able to fight for those wins, and the Lady Penguins giving them a run for their money here. And Dominican, again, like we mentioned earlier, trying to get off the schneid, looking for that first win in Pac West play. They're 0-2. Dixie State 2-0.
On the floor for Gail Stammer will be Wasco. Stocking, Raines, who has the toilet paper removed from her right nostril after the nosebleed, and Lee, Powelson, and Kelsey Lardner. Here we go. Side out, Red Storm on the southern end of the Conlin Center to the back row. Powelson picks it up. They set it over to Stocking with a big smash, but it's fielded cleanly by the Red Storm. Blocked by the Penguins after the kill attempt by Shannon Young is thwarted. The DUs start things off in set number 3, 1 up. And here's Kelsey Lardner with a side out. Lardner way over in the right corner, closest to the grandstands on the far sideline. She takes it into the net, Hunter. Are you kidding me? From the 3-year varsity lettering captain, you just don't see those kinds of service errors. 1 apiece now.
And that's one of those things that hurt the Penguins early in set number 2 with the mental mistakes and the errors, giving those unnecessary points to Dixie State right off the bat.
The 5'8" sophomore Anderson, the libero player, serves it up. A poor leave by the back row of the DUs. And Dixie State takes the lead after Young is credited with the kill, although she didn't really have to kill much of it. It was such a poor leave by the back row of the DUs that Young just had to get her hands up. And Anderson will do it again. 2-1, the Penguins trail here in set 3. Lee with the bump, Lardner with the set. Right side, Hannah softly into the middle. It's dinked and saved. Raines reaches over, but the Penguins get the point as it looks like Keeler leaned. Was it Keeler? No, it was Weiland who turned into the net 2 apiece. And here's Hannah Stocking now. Stocking, also a senior, lets one ride into the back right corner. Young with a bump. They send it back over to Young off the top of the tape. Saved by Lee, but Lee was just a little off balance and couldn't get it up into the air. And they give Red Storm the point. Wilkes will serve it up. 3-2 now, Dixie. Dixie 2-0 in conference. The Penguins 0-2. Wilkes will serve the 5'7" sophomore out of Salt Lake City. she shifts over to the left corner and goes to Stocking. Now front row Lardner. Now they set it up to Powelson, who's a little late on the hit. Hunter into the net, 4-2.
A little late, and Sorensen read her like a book, too. Even if she had been able to hit that cleanly, Sorensen was right there. So that play looked like it might have been doomed from the get-go. The Penguins, here's an opportunity for them to stop the bleeding.
Wilkes after a 3-point unanswered run, and Wasco takes it into media row for the killing point for the Penguins, 4-3. And the Penguins will bring Sari Kwan and Megan Callan in. Callan, a 6'1" junior out of Laverne, is a transfer, and Kwan, of course, a returning Penguin. Kwan will serve it now. She runs up on the back line. A good dead ball serve to the back row. Anderson can't handle it, and the service ace brings the score tied at 4.
Yeah, talking to Hannah Stocking, Megan Callan, Sarah's teammates, she is so good, and that's one of the things they credit her at, doing that, being able to get the service ace and getting that ball so dead that you really can't do anything with it.
Yeah, Stammer's got to bring her in as a serving specialist, and Kwan tends to deliver. The bump by Kwan, now the set by Lardner to Wasco, back corner, good. 5-4, and the Penguins come back with a pair of unanswered points, and the D's are back on top. 3 lead changes so far early in set 3.
And the credit goes to Kelsey Lardner there for being able to set that ball so perfectly. Amanda Wasco, after that kill, immediately looked at her, pointed, smiled. They're on the same page.
Young with the kill after the serve by Kwan, 5 apiece. Oh, that Young, even though Young is only listed at 5'9", she has massive hops on her, and she'll serve it up. Boy, she's been credited with a ton of kills tonight. 5 apiece, Young. 3 feet left of the center.
Young came into this match here with 87 kills on the year, leading the team.
Now the Penguins with a poor set, and hit by Keeler. Way outside the left line. Keeler shanked it out of there, 6'5" DU. Wasco to serve. First-year Penguin. Wasco's only a sophomore. Transferred out of D1 Utah. And lays it in the back row to Young. Now it's set, left side Sorensen. The Penguins scoop it out. The quick set now by Lardner. And Dixie's on it. Now a whistle after Sorensen let it fly, and the point for Dixie. 6-6. The Rex is given the credit for the kill there. Maddie Rex, a 5'10" junior out of Tucson. So she'll serve it up next. Actually, Keeler with the serve. Back row. Bumped by Hannah into the net. Just a terrible leave by Hannah Stocking. And Lardner could do nothing with it. That was not very pretty for the senior Stocking. 7-6, Penguins trail by 1. Set number 3, Keeler again. Back row Stocking, this time much better. Lardner now sets it front left corner. Smashed across by Sorensen. Back row, Dixie's bumping it all over. All they can do is flat-foot it back. Wasco with a bump. Now Lardner set. Right side Hannah. Back row, it's there. Keeler with a bump. Now they set it back over to, not to Young, but in fact it was Haywood. And into the net. And 2 unanswered. Now Dixie goes up by 2. 8-6.
Megan Callan there tried to do her signature kill and instead found the net and off balance, wasn't really in position.
Her signature move is that right-handed scoop where the hand leads her whole body. Here's Wasco now with a great overhead and a poor lead. So Callan goes back left corner wide. 9-6. That was an unforced error. She had a lot of open court with which to work. Timeout Stammer.
And Noelle alluded to it in between games, how Callan is one of those girls that gets pumped up and gets ready to go for the game. And there's been a couple of times tonight where she needs to kind of rein it in a little bit, and Gail Stammer will, speak to her. She is right now during the timeout here, but it's something that she's going to have to get under control because she is such a vital part of this offense.
Noelle Roldan working the controls tonight. And here we go. Let's try it again. All right, that sounded pretty cool, but that's not what we were looking for. Roldan, a
This is
senior.
Hannah Stocking, outside hitter for Dominican University. This is Penguin Radio.
Yes, it is. Radio.dominican.edu, a worldwide broadcast from Dominican University of California. Horn and Horenstein serving it up as Nicole Keeler, the 6'1" junior out of Sandy. 9-6 Storm. Bumped up to Kwan. A poor leave. Kwan left it. Hunter, when you bump it up, you got to bump it straight up, and Kwan's bumping it toward the net. And that's 2 or 3 of those tonight that have really hurt.
Yeah, it
10-6.
doesn't put Kelsey Lerner in a good position either. There's not a whole lot she can do about that. Maddie Rex was waiting on the other side for her.
Keeler with the serve. Now Wasco goes back row. It's bumped up by Wilkes, and it's just absolutely hammered across by Rex, but the Penguins pick it up. Off the top of the tape goes Wasco. Now just a punch shot by Anderson. Back set to Callan, and there it is. Callan finds it and gets the Penguins going the right direction again. 10-7 Dixie in set 3. Best of 5. Rally scoring. Every time the ball hits the floor, a point goes up. Powelson to serve it for the DUs. Young with the bump. Now the set Sorensen. Softly back to Young. And a whistle was blown, and I'm not sure why. The ball was... Oh, the Penguins get the point? No, that can't be right. Powelson's going to get it back. 10-8. All right. I see. The indication was the error was on Dixie, not the point going to Dixie. The number 1 referee is up on the ladder. There we go. First he pointed out toward Dixie, and it's 10-8. Powelson again, back row Young. Bumped up Sorensen. Left side, Rex is deep. 10-9. They're going to bring in Sheila Uluave now in place of Young. And I'm not sure why. Young has been deadly tonight. You got to keep the hot hand in there, especially as the Penguins have the momentum.
Especially in a 1-point game, too, where the Penguins only trail by 1. 9-10.
Service ace now by Powelson, and that ties it, Hunter. 10 apiece.
Mute point now.
And Powelson's hot. Penguins with the side out. Set 3, she runs up on the end line. Perfect serve right at the feet of Wilkes. And the Penguins with a big block. This is way out of bounds, but the Red Storm's going to get it back. Oh, what a great block by Sorensen, by Callan. And the block by Callan, and the Penguins lead by 100 after trailing by 4 a moment ago.
And there's that fight again by the Penguins, something they're so good at. Never out of the game. They just got to keep it going at this point.
Yeah, they came back in set 1 from behind. Almost a miracle comeback in set 2. And now the smash is thwarted by Powelson again. Penguins now on defense into the back row. Quan dives for it, can't get to it, 11 up.
Sorensen played the Penguins like a book there. Had everyone in them up in front. Wasco and Powelson came in as well. Quan was the only one left back, and Sorensen exploited it.
Sorensen with the serve now. Lardner gets it over to Hannah off the front row, and it falls, stalking with the winner, 12-11. Welcoming everybody watching on the Stretch Network. Live worldwide on the internet and on CMCM, watching on Sunday nights. Thanks to Scott Calhoun and his guys. Listening worldwide on radio.dominican.edu. 12-11, the Penguins on top. Here's the kill attempt by Uluave. Saved by Lee. Bumped by Lardner. Right side Hannah. Saved again by Lee. Now the Penguins on defense. Back set Sorensen. Oh, and it's muffed out of bounds. Hunter by Kendall Whalen, and Whalen hasn't missed any at all. Very few tonight, 13-11.
Yeah, 6'1" junior doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. So when you do, we'll take it. That's a point for us, and all of a sudden the Penguins got something going.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Lee with a great serve to Uluave in the back right corner. Now the bump by the Penguins, helped up by Sam Raines, saved by Lardner. Trips coming up. Now they go back, and it's out of bounds off the hands of Wasco. And the kill by Whalen goes 13-12. They're going to bring in Young. Check it, the winner by Haywood, not Whalen. They're bringing in Young in place of Uluave. And Maddie Rex, the 5'10 junior, will serve it. Penguins by 1 here in set 3. The all-important set 3. Because set number 5, of course, as most of you listeners know, is short. It's only 15 points. The Penguins don't even want to go there tonight if they can avoid it. The lefty, Wayland, from the front right corner is so tough. And there's the helper after a poor leave by Sorensen. Falls after Haywood dinks it in there, 13 apiece.
Kristen Haywood, 6-footer, going up against Kelsey Lardner, only 5'7", and that's an easy matchup by way of Dixie State.
Rex to serve now. 5 feet right of the center line. Or to the left, I should say. And all Hannah can do is help it over. Good bump. Left side Young, who's rotated back in Wheeland to Wasco. Set by Lardner. Back left corner and the winner again. And Hannah Stocking is all of a sudden pretty hot. 14-13.
Starting to turn it up here, and what you got to think is almost a must-win for the Penguins. You mentioned they don't want to go to set number 5. You got to win this one here.
Lardner with a serve. Here's the bump by Sorensen. Penguins now on offense. Back set. Wasco blocked inbounds. It falls back in over Wasco's head. Boy, that was a wall thrown up by Dixie, and they blocked it right back out as 14 up.
Something they haven't done a whole lot to Wasco, and she finally meets her match, and it's taken Dixie State a little while to be able to figure out how to defend the sophomore.
Anderson with the set. Hannah with the bump. Wasco front left corner. Now Dixie flat-footed. All they can do is help it. Young softly gets to the middle of the court. Are you kidding? Diving in was Lee. But all the Penguins had collapsed away from the center. 15-14. Another lead change. Dixie leads here in set 3. Anderson slaps the ball 3 or 4 times. Now spins it. Now runs up on it. Back corner Lee. Lardner back set. Hannah softly into the middle. Into the tape. And the Penguins just paid him back as the dink move works for the Penguins. Not a lot of dink winners tonight for the Penguins. Plenty of them for the Red Storm. 15 up. Hannah to serve. Stocking now in the middle. It's bumped up by Rex. Ooh, and the big kill attempt by Young is blocked right back in her face by Wasco and Rains. 16-15. Penguins lead. And here comes Stocking again. Stocking, 3-year lettering senior. A nice dead ball to Anderson. Back set, and the Penguins, Sam Rains gets a hand on it. And she scooped it. 16 up. Dixie with it. Back in there is Wilkes. Back to the bench is Wheelan. Wheelan with that funky left-handed approach. She's so good, and the left-handed move just is so hard to pick up. 16 apiece. Wilkes will serve it. Stocking high in the arms. Now the set. Rains runs in on it. Check it, that was Powelson. Penguins with some good defense. Wasco and Rains in the middle. Now Stocking. Back set to Wasco, deep. 17-16 Dixie.
Another back set there by Kelsey Lardner to try to set it up for Wasco, and too much on it. If she had it, it was perfect because there was nobody in the back for Dixie State. She just hit it too far.
Wilkes again. Set to Rains. Finds the front row. They're able to bump it up. Young helps it, flat-footed. Now Kelsey. Now Hannah into the net. 3 in a row, coughed up by the Penguins. 18-16. DU trails. Wilkes again. Set 3, fans. 1 up. Best of 5 match. Wilkes to Hannah. Back set. Wasco softly. Saved by Rex. Penguins on defense. Young. Hannah again. Lardner with a set. Right side Powelson. Blocked to the back row. 19-16 Dixie.
And they're fired up over there as the Red Storm, and Gail Stammer's got to think about maybe calling a timeout soon because that momentum is all Dixie State right now.
19-16, Powelson out. Jessica Jones in. Jones, the veteran. She'll be back row on the left side, and they go to her. High in the arms, Jones. Now Lardner brings it back to JJ in the middle. Taken across, Wheelan's back in there. The kill attempt by Keeler finds the top of the net and back at her, and the Penguins get a point back, 19-17. Sorry, Kwan's going to come back in place of Sam Rains, who had the bleeder going in set number 2.
And Sam Rains going to take a seat after a big block there for her Penguins.
So with Kwan in there, Gail Stammer changes a little quickness for height. The block by Wasco goes back. 19-18, timeout Dixie.
Yeah, she went one-on-one with Shannon Young, and it was a battle up front, and Wasco, the sophomore, beats the senior. Nice job by
This is Amanda Lee, and you're listening to Penguin Radio.
Yes, you are. Penguin Radio, broadcasting worldwide from Dominican University of California. Perfect timing. DJ Swag and Hunter Hornstein, yours truly, Stuart Horn. 19-18 with this timeout. Hunter, the Penguins are not giving up, and they haven't slumped their shoulders once tonight.
Not at all, and you're seeing a completely different team than you did a couple of nights ago, or even Thursday night last week. This Penguin team, it looks like they're putting it all together and really haven't been slumping for more than just a few points.
You know, in the games the last couple of nights against Cal Baptist and the Point Loma match, both of them, it seemed like everybody knew the Penguins were going to lose those matches. In the house, that was the vibe. Tonight, it's totally different. Tonight, the Penguins seem like they want to win it and they want to go get it.
There was one little hiccup in set number 2, and that was early on. If the Penguins don't put themselves in that hole, they're looking at a potential sweep here in game 3.
19-18. Quan with a beauty and gets things going. Wheelan diving for it. Stocking fires it over in the media row, and it's batted back, but it's out of bounds. 20-18. Red Storm, red zone.
Nice stop over there on media row by former Penguin Laurel Grand.
Well, once a Penguin, always a Penguin. Uluave is back in place of Young now. Yeah, Grand, I remember her very first night in her freshman year. Now she's graduated several years ago.
Was an assistant coach for the Penguins last season.
20-18, and the killer from the front row drifting is Keeler, and it's good. 21-18 now, and the Storm is really storming back. Keeler. And the serve into the net off of Uluave. And what a time to kick over the kettle. 21-19, the Penguins will take it. Boy, that is not when you want to do it.
Dixie State doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes like that either. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot often.
No, that was a late game, big time error, and it's magnified. Now the killer off of the serve from Wasco, again by Maddie Rex. Rex is one of those go-to dominant players and makes up for the big mistake, 22-19.
And to prove that point is they can put that error behind them and go right back to scoring for themselves.
Good point. Keeler with the service over to JJ off the front row, and the killer Jones finds the floor. 22-20.
It's something Dominican has gotten better at over the years. Instead of letting the mistakes get to them, they quickly forget about it, flush it, and go back to playing Dominican volleyball. Something Dixie State does a great job. The Penguins are showing it tonight as well.
Jones with the killer gets yanked, and here's Powelson in her place to serve it. Back row to Wilkes. Now set, left side. Oh, and the killer off the block. And Cullen with the tremendous block, and the winner off of the smash by Rex. 22-21, here come the DUs. Powelson again. A lot of pressure here on the freshman. And did I call that or what? She deeped it off of the serve. It was 22-21, and Powelson felt the pressure and hit it a mile long, 23-21, the exact wrong time that you want to see something like that happen. Oh, brother, that's a killer.
And luckily, Gail Stammer's going to call a timeout, regroup, refocus. You mentioned the freshman. Mistakes are going to happen. You just don't want them to happen at this point in time.
Yeah, boy, I feel bad about saying that. Here's the pressure, and then 1 instant later, she knocks it long when the Penguins needed her to drop it in there. 23-21, and as Hunter mentioned, Gail Stammer's called the timeout. Penguins are going to have to dig deep if they want to get this one. Game to 25. Red Storm's back out there. On the floor for Stammer, Lardner, Cullen, Quan, Hannah Stocking, Powelson, and Wasco. 2-point game. Penguins on defense. Side out Red Storm. Sorensen. Deep!
Service error. Point Penguins.
23-22. Boy, that's a little helper.
Sari Kwan will take a seat, replaced by Samantha Raines, giving the Dominican a little bit of height up in front.
Here goes Lee now, back row. Oh, that's a beauty. Just had him flat-footed. Now the Penguins on defense. Perfect set. To Hannah Stocking. Out of bounds! Game tied! 23 up. The Penguins answer with a pair to tie it very late. Lee now being called on, and she does it again. Oh, what a great server. Now the back row, and the killer is laid in there by Maddie Rex, the big 5'10"er. She plays a lot bigger than 5'10", 24-23. Set point now.
Shannon Young's coming back in for Dixie State. Will join up front. Watch out for her to be a factor.
Here's Rex. Penguins need the point. No tomorrow here. She runs up on it. A perfecto into the middle. Powelson. The nice set to Stocking into the back row. Anderson with a dig. Back set now. Put in the back corner. And Dixie comes away with a winner in set 3. They lead
Third set, Dixie State.
2-1, 25-23, Hunter. Oh, that is a crushing blow as the Penguins were really making a move.
A tough one to swallow it, but really the Penguins, you're still in it if you think about it. You just have to win this next one, and you would have liked them to win set number 3, but the reality is unable to really mitigate the mistakes and unable to really hold off the Red Storm. And Dixie State, a very good team, and they can come back in extra point fashion if they need to. That's what they did against Notre Dame Dana Muir. I bring in back in Noelle Roldan, and Noelle, what now? The script has been flipped, and the Penguins in an all too familiar spot. Their backs are up against the wall once again, down 2-1 here in set number 4. The keys to win this 4 and send us to 5.
Well, flip the script is exactly right, Hunter. Unfortunately for the Penguins, they had the upper hand in the first couple of games, winning that first game, and then now they find themselves in the same spot that they found themselves in the last few nights. And it's just going to be a matter of eliminating those unforced errors. You know, the miss serve by Maddie Powelson was clutch for the Red Storm. It's things like that that breaks down the Penguin offense. And then, you know, in volleyball, every mistake you make is a point for the other team.
And the Lady Penguins have done so well as of late of keeping themselves in a game. It's just a matter of finally getting over that hump, so to speak, and put it away. They did it in set number 1. They're going to have to do it here in set number 4 if they want to keep playing tonight.
Well, and I think something positive to take away from this is that I noticed that they didn't stop fighting, and that's something different. It's something that we haven't seen from the Lady Penguins in the past, and so it's refreshing to see, and hopefully, as you said before, they can just go ahead and not dig themselves a hole. Because if they don't dig themselves that hole, then it's actually going to be smooth sailing. They're not going to have to fight that hard to stay in this game. Surprisingly enough, even though Lady Penguins picked to finish 12th in the Pac West, Dixie State picked to finish 7th. They seem pretty neck and neck right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned they're picked to finish 7th, Dixie State is. They're 2-0 though. They got a couple of big wins over NDNU and NDNU last time out. They will travel to Academy of Art tomorrow. The Penguins are a 0-2, but really an 0-2 in which they took Point Loma to 5, and then they lost in 4 the other night to CBU. So really not playing as badly as the record shows.
And I feel like in the past, too, it's been the same thing. Unfortunately for the Lady Penguins, you have to see them to understand what it is that they're doing. And statistics and paper isn't exactly showing them in the best light. But they are showing some fight. They are changing their attitudes, changing their mentalities, still working at the end of the game. Even when it looks not that good, they have had some amazing comebacks. It's really good to see. But unfortunately for them, Dixie State is trying to dominate the Bay Area pod right now, as we could say. And so I think that they're just they have a lot of momentum right now, so it's important for the Penguins to shut it down.
You're listening to women's volleyball action on radio.dominican.edu, Penguin Radio Live from the Conlin Center. We're underway in set number 4, and right away, emphatically, Mackenzie Bird puts it away for the Red Storm after Kelsey Lardner serves it, and Dixie State up 1-0. In game 4.
Mackenzie Bird just crushing the ball down to the 10-foot line.
Back to serve Dixie State. Hits the top of the net as it goes over, helped across. They're in front of the net. Sam Raines, Hannah Stocking, Maddie Powelson. Cleared. Too many touches though by the Penguins as Amanda Wasco's that 4th touch. And a point to Dixie State, 2-0.
One thing that I've noticed is the Penguins really need to get their passing down. They're making Kelsey Lardner work too hard. She's not able to get that ball up for them.
Kelsey Lardner so far with 32 assists. There's Hannah Stocking. Helps it across. Bumped up by Bird. Over to Young. Back row, Powelson. Lardner with the set. Hannah Stocking helps it across. Young digs it out. Set by Sorensen. Back row. Lee. Lardner to Rains. Helps it across. Dixie State. 2-touch called, and the Penguins with the point. 2-1.
Sometimes it's little calls like that change the momentum of the game, and I think the Penguins have gotten a little bit lucky with those in the past couple of games.
Hannah Stocking back to serve. A line drive over the net. Back row for the Red Storm. Blocked in front of the net by Rains after Bird tried to put it away. There's Young on the far side. She hits it in front of the net. Helped across by Rains. Dug out by the Red Storm. Over to Bird. She puts it back row. Kelsey Lardner up in the air. Young will have to clear it. She does. Back row. Over to Lee again. Powelson. Sam, just a desperation, needs to put it on the other side. There's Mackenzie Bird again, dug out in the back row by Lee. Amanda Wasco, right side, back court. Bumped up by Anderson. Mackenzie Bird, back court. Penguins still alive. Powelson, blocked in front of the net. Lardner sets it. Powelson once again touches the top of the net and goes over.
Just touching the top of the net and finding the hole. Man, I have to say one thing though. Amanda Lee has started every one of these rallies in that last set. That girl is a defensive specialist.
Powelson with the kill. And the Penguins tie it up at 2. Powelson with 2 kills in set number 4. Set number 3 as we are in set number 4 here. Hannah Stocking back to serve. Cross court, back row. Dixie State set by Sorensen. Over to Young. Blocked by Amanda Waskow. Point to the Penguins. It's 3-2.
Stocking Seacrest serving.
Young, number 3, Shannon Young, 5'9". She has monsters hops. She's been getting up in the air, killing it at the 10-foot line all night.
Hannah Stocking over to Young, set by Sorensen. Put away by Haywood. And Dixie State ties it. Now we're back at 3 apiece. Back to serve Haley Wilkes. Wilkes hits the ground with the ball a couple of times, runs up and serves it. Away we go. Hannah Stocking. Lardner with the set. Allison tries to put it away. Penguins with the point. 4-3 now, Dominicans advantage. Lee will take a seat. Rains will take a seat. Callan is in. And Gail Stammer's most consistent server, Sari Kwan, into the game. She'll go back to serve. 4-3, Penguins lead in set number 4. Dixie State leads 1-0. Nearly a service ace by the Penguins. Powelson to Lardner, who sets it on the right side for Wasco. Backcourt off Anderson's hands and out of bounds. Wasco with the kill. 5-3 now, Dominican leads.
I love watching Wasco work. Every single time she goes up, you can just tell she's going to put it away.
Sari Kwan with the serve. Anderson falling, saves it. The kill attempt by Hayward, blocked in front of the net by Callan and Powelson. Penguins with the point, 6-3. Into the game, Uluave. As Young takes a seat for Dixie State. Sari with the serve, back row, bumped up. Bird, Sari bumps it up. Lardner sets for Callan, helps it across. Diving attempt by the Red Storm, they can't get it. And a kill by Megan Callan. It's 7-3 Penguins.
Slightly different than we're used to seeing. A little bit of finesse, how she just dinked it over there.
Kwan again. Here's the serve, back row. Anderson off the hands, into the back of the court, and it's out. A service ace for Sari Kwan. 5 in a row for the Penguins, 8-3. Dixie State forced to call a timeout.
And that's exactly what the Penguins are going to need to do tonight. They just need to go on those runs and be able to stay calm when something goes wrong or if Dixie State gets it back. Because it doesn't matter. You know, Dixie State is one of those teams that goes on runs as well. And so it's nice to see that the Penguins are kind of learning to play with this runs game, back and forth, because in the past, when teams haven't gone on runs, they found that they kind of just let them run away with it.
For the first time in what seems like a long time, the Penguins have gone on a run of their own to start off the set. And it comes in a situation where it's a must-win. The Penguins, you just keep the pedal on the gas here. And no disrespect to Dixie State, but they could run away with it potentially.
I'm hoping they run away with it potentially.
I see you knocking on wood. Thank you. 8-3. Set number 4, Sari Kwan with 5 points to Penguins credit already. Goes ahead and serves it. Bird to the backcourt. Kwan bumps it up. Lardner with the set. There's Powelson, blocked in front of the net. Kept alive by the Penguins, and they can't get it. It went into the net as a couple of Penguins dove to the ground trying to save it. Just not enough. And the streak is over. The Red Storm with the point. They cut the lead in half, 8-4. Uluave back to serve. Runs up. Here we go. Into the net. Service error by Dixie State. The Penguins will take the point. 9-4. Wasco back to serve, and the momentum back on the side of the black and gold. Wasco. Cross-court serve, back row, bumped up. So the net. Do they help it across? No. Another point for the Penguins, as that was Maddie Rex who tried to clear it. Really off balance, couldn't do anything with it.
Penguins holding the lead at 6. I think the largest they had so far.
10-4, Rex on the far side. Tries to kill it, but there's Sari Kwan. Bumped up by Kelsey Lardner. Cleared by Powelson. In front of the net, helped across, touched by Callan. Lardner back row to the Dixie States. Off of the face of Amanda Wasco. And Maddie Rex puts it away.
This has by far been the most eventful game, at least on the Dominican University side. These ladies are battling back and forth for this Red Storm.
10-5, as Alex Anderson, the libero, will go back to serve for Dixie State. Over to Powelson, who bumps it up. Set by Lardner, back to Powelson, off the hands, back row, there's Anderson. Sorensen to Uluave, and the point to the Penguins as Uluave just got a little too much on it and hit it out of bounds. 11-5 now, Dominican leads. Powelson back to serve. Into the game is Hannah Stocking. Powelson into the net.
And we're just going to need to eliminate those errors. Like I said before, that's the stuff that's going to kill us.
11-6, Dixie State trying to claw their way back. Dominican doesn't want to give him any more points than they have to. Lardner set in front of the net. Cleared by Hannah Stocking. Over to Dixie State, bumped up. There's Sorensen. There's Maddie Rex. Puts it away.
I think for the first time, though, Dominican's able to breathe through these mistakes. They're able to keep their head on, keep the mentality right, due to this little cushion they got.
11-7 now. Hannah Stocking takes the serve, goes to Lardner, sets for Callan. Callan finds the back line. 12-7.
Callan with the cannon with a big smile running off the court. Subbed in for Amanda Lee.
Sari Kwan also takes the seat as Sam Raines comes in. Lee's serve, back left. Sorensen to Rex, blocked by Lardner and Raines up front. Anderson now set to Sorensen, helps it across by Whalen. Hannah to the back row, Anderson. Sorensen in front of the net to Rex, but there's Hannah Stocking. Lardner, Sam Raines, back to Sorensen. Whalen tries to help it across. Backcourt, Lee, left side, Stocking, off the hands. Bumped up. Whalen tries to put it away. Ball still alive. There's Lee. There's Raines, backcourt. As Kelsey Lardner helps it across. Wasco, backcourt. Dixie State, longest rally of the night. There's Rex, and the Penguins are called for being in the net. 12-7. That was exhausting.
That was intense to watch. Probably one of the longest rallies I've ever seen in the ice box, at least in my time here at Dominican University.
Maddie Rex back to serve. The 5'10 junior out of Tucson, Arizona. Her and the Red Storm trail Dominican 12-8. Now it's 13-8 as that ball goes right into the net for a service error.
Dominican has gotten a little bit lucky for these service errors that Dixie State is serving up.
The senior captain, Kelsey Lardner, back to serve, cross court. Hannah Stocking puts it away as she just barely helps it across. Hannah with a little bit of finesse there, Noelle.
Exactly, just barely reaching over and putting it right in the gap. The Red Storm definitely didn't know what to do with that one.
Lardner will go again, 14-8, bumped up by Anderson. There's Sorensen, over to Young, off the hands of Lee, set by Lardner. Stocking helps it across and gets it down. 2 in a row for Hannah, 15-8, right in the middle, and it's a timeout for Dixie State.
I think Dixie State is a little bit surprised. I don't think they realized that the Penguins were going to come out to play this game.
In a must-win here in set number 4. If the Penguins win, they will force set number 5. That's the winner take all.
That is the one. They haven't really been that successful so far in Game 5, but I'm seeing a different different team out here tonight. You know, they're excited. They're playing with a lot of passion right now, and they're playing with their heads on straight. Usually this is the time of the game where they kind of lose a little bit, get too excited. They're not used to being so far ahead, and it's good to see that, you know, they're staying with their heads on. They're playing smart. They're putting the ball where they need to, and they got to win this game, so they got no choice.
Dominican 0-2 in Pac-West play. Dixie State 2-0. Can the Penguins finally put a blemish to that record for the Red Storm? Here's the serve, away we go. Anderson off the net. 2-touch called on the Red Storm, and the Penguins with a quick point. It's 16-8.
You can tell right now, Kelsey Lardner, she sees blood in the water. She's ready. Trying to put this game away. The senior setter playing every position all the way around the horn.
Lardner in her final season here at Dominican. There's the serve. Sorensen to Whalen, who gets blocked in front of the net. Helped across by the Red Storm. Lee up for Wasco. Far right side. Nothing doing. Anderson helped across by the Penguins. Blocked in front of the net after Sam Raines tried to hit it. Helped across by Wasco. And inbounds. She barely got it in, and the point to the Penguins. 17-8. Lardner will go back to serve.
Once again, those rallies right there were started by Amanda Lee jumping into the air, just getting her hand on it so that her team could start.
Lardner cross court serve, bumped up by Rex. Tried to save it, and nothing doing. Shelby Sorensen dove for it, hit it into no man's land, and nobody was there to get it. The Penguins with the point, a service ace, 18-8, a 10-point lead for Dominican. Lardner with the runner, bumped up by Rex. Sorensen to Young. Young puts it away in front of a diving Powelson, and the Red Storm finally put a stop to Dominican's run. 18-9. Bird will go back to serve. Must win here for Dominican, and they're in a good position, but a service ace off the right hand of Bird. She's fired up, so are the Red Storm. It's 18-10.
This is going to be a battle. I mean, Dixie State's not going to lay down for Dominican, and they're at least going to punch him a couple times before they let him run away with this.
Bird, here's the serve. Stalking, set to Lardner, back to Santa. Hannah gives it to Rex in front of the net, blocked in front of the net by Sam Raines. The ball's still alive, though. Back over to the DUs. There's Lardner, sets for Stalking. Stalking puts it away! Back court, 19-10.
Stalking has been flawless tonight, hitting that back left corner every single time.
Stalking with the serve, bumped up by Rex. There's Anderson over to Young on the left side, who barely gets it, and it touches the top of the net. Touches the antenna there on the left-hand side. A point to the Penguins. They are now in the red zone, 20-10, and a 10-point lead. More importantly, though, the Penguins with an opportunity to slam the door shut on Dixie State. Here's Hannah's serve. Bumped up, front of the net. Sorensen, Young, doesn't get it. Young really being led in the wrong direction where she wanted to be. It led too far to the left, and instead of just barely just trying to hit that ball in desperation, trying to make something happen, she didn't there. It's 21-10. Here's the serve by Hannah Stocking. Sorensen to Whalen, who puts it away without anybody touching it. Not much Wasco or Lardner could do. They just looked at each other. Dixie State will go ahead and take that point, 21-11.
Dixie State trying to rally up something right now.
Haley Wilkes back to serve. The Red Storm lead 2-1 and in danger of seeing this thing tied up. Serve in the back row. Lardner sets for Powelson off the hands. Sorensen, Young. Powelson off her hands and out of bounds, and Young puts it away for the kill, 21-12. And the Penguins will take a timeout.
Well, I have to say, Hunter, this game has been one of my favorite games that have happened here so far this season. I'm seeing a whole nother team. The Penguins are playing as if they have the upper hand. They're not worried about anything, and they're basically not playing around.
Hey, this is Jessica Jones, and you're listening to Penguin Radio.
We want to thank you for wherever you may be tuned into here on radio.dominican.edu. Penguin Radio, bringing you live volleyball action from the Conlin Center here in beautiful San Rafael, California. Hunter Hornstein, Noel Roldan, we're in game number 4, and the Penguins in the driver's seat, 21-12, trying to force a decisive set number 5. The last time they went to 5 was against Point Loma in a heartbreaker here in the Penguins' home opener. Away we go as Dixie State serves it up. Wasco off the hands, dug out by Anderson. Somehow the ball is kept alive, helped across by Dixie State. Lardner to Powelson, off the hands, back row Anderson. Sorensen helped across. There's Lardner, Wasco in the air. Hannah Stocking, she just goes ahead and puts it on the other side. Here's Young, left side, off of Lardner's hands. There's Lee. Helped across by Stocking. Back row. Sorensen just helps it across. Diving attempt by Stocking. Powelson keeps it alive. Back to Powelson. Blocked by the Penguins!
Blocked by Reigns.
Sam Raines says no way to Kristen Hayward.
Callan and Quan return.
Callan returns. Quan returns. 22-12.
This is a whole nother team, Hunter.
The serve by Quan to Young on the left side, and she puts it away. And the Dixie State Red Storm aren't going away easy. 22-13 now, as that kill got right by Amanda Wasco into the back left corner.
One thing I've noticed is when Dominican plays quick, they're not setting too high, they're not taking their time, they're just doing what they have to do. They're effective.
Uluwalve back to serve. There's Powelson, set by Lardner. Wasco, far side, helps it across. Diving attempt by the Red Storm. They somehow keep the ball alive. Helped across by Dixie State in the back row. Powelson tries to put it away. She will.
Kill by Powelson.
Just barely making it inside the line.
We found that back court, 23-13. Wasco to serve. As a Let's Go Dixie chant erupts from their bench. Rex off the hands of Sari Kwan. The ball goes high in the air here at the Conlin Center. Wasco helped across by Callan, who really had nothing on it, and it just went out of bounds. And a point to the Red Storm, 23-14.
She's almost too strong for her own good. She tried to ease that over, but Callan the Cannon has a hard time just easing things over.
Hayward back to serve. She's the libero for Dixie State. Powelson bumps it up. Lardner with the set. Callan tries to put it away. Off the hands of Bird and out of bounds. 24-14, set point for the Penguins.
That slide is working for Lardner and Callan. I like what they're started.
Powelson back to serve. Gets deathly quiet here at the Conlin Center. The anticipation rising. Rex puts it away though for Dixie State, and the Penguins will have to wait at least one more play to try to force game 5. 24-15. Sorensen goes back to serve for the Penguins. Excuse me, for the Red Storm. We're in set number 4, a must win for the Penguins. See if they can go to set number 5. Hannah Stocking to Lardner. Callan tries to put it away. Backcourt, did she get it? Yes, she did! We're going to game 5.
And just like that, the Penguins came out with a vengeance, ready to play. Said, no, we are not going away. We are going to game 5.
We are tied at 2 sets apiece. 25-15 your final. and the Penguins have come roaring back in dramatic fashion here at the Conlin Center. 0-2 in Pac-West Conference, looking to change that tonight as they want to knock off 2-0 Dixie State here in the final home game before they go on the road to Point Loma, Azusa Pacific, and then a rematch with Dixie State at their place on Monday, September 30th.
First team to 15, Hunter, in this set number 5 after we've got about 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the break between sets. And one of these teams is going to win tonight, and either the Penguins are going to have their first victory of the 2013 campaign in conference, or a heartbreaking loss and send Dixie to 3-0. Now here's the thing, Dixie have beaten Holy Names and Notre Dame de Namur. Neither of those two, Holy Names nor Notre Dame, are as tough as the Penguins. So did Dixie come into tonight with a little higher expectations maybe? You know, we're on this roll. Yeah, you beat 2 schools, but you haven't faced anybody like the Penguins, and I think Dixie State is realizing that in a big way right now.
We mentioned it before, an 0-2 record for Dominican does not reflect how this team has been playing. Holy Names 0-2, NDNU 0-3. Tomorrow, Dixie State will go to Academy of Art, who are 0-2. So maybe they're looking a little bit past the Penguins in this sense, a mistake that could prove fatal tonight.
Yeah, or, you win the first 2 matches on a 4-game road trip and you think, hey, maybe we can sweep our way home, which all you're looking to do is try and, it's like in baseball, you win at home and tie the series on the road. And after winning the first 2 games, Dixie might have been thinking, well, maybe we can win them all. Well, Dominican wasn't that tough last year, but they're a lot better, Dominican are, this year than last year. 1 minute to go in the timeout. And in this 15-point tiebreaker, everything is magnified.
You want to get off to a good start, and they're going to lean heavily, Dominican is, on Hannah Stocking and Megan Callan. Hannah with 16 kills last set, Callan with 11. Amanda Wasco, who has already shown that she can contribute, with 8. And the Penguins, who got off to such a hot start, did not make the errors, gave themselves a big lead, and then were able to finish it once they found the red zone.
Yeah, and just a couple of nights ago against Cal Baptist, they went 5 games, and when they got to the 5th set, Hunter, as you recall, they lost the first 6 points in a row, which in a 15-point deciding set is murder. And it turned out to be murder for the Penguins. The Penguins couldn't get anything going after those first 6 points and lost in the 5th set just a couple of nights ago. Lardner's going to have the serve for the mighty Penguins. The good old San Rafaels in Game 5 against Dixie. The Red Storm. Lardner from the right corner runs up, and we're underway. This deciding set 5. The first kill goes down by the left-handed Kendall Wayland, and the Penguins trail 1-0. The service will be by Mackenzie Bird, the 6-foot sophomore, off to our right. Bird behind the end line. Dixie filling it up over there in the northern end of the Conlin Center. Here's Wasco to the back row. Bird with a bump. Now the set. Right side Young. Wasco with a wall. Blocks it down at her own feet. 2-0 Dixie.
The Penguins are going to be tested here as everything is magnified in game number 5. They've already gone to 5 against Point Loma, and they were unable to seal the deal. This time they've worked so hard to get to this point, they have to be able to finish it today. This is a must-win set.
Stocking tries to end it. Stocking with the killer. Oh no, Stocking found part of, so one of the Penguins turned into the net. 3-0 Red Storm. Stocking earned the kill but didn't get the point for it. Bird again. Back row to Stocking with the bump. Lardner with a saver. Lee goes to the back row now. Now the Penguins are on defense. Wheeland off the front row. 4-0 Storm. And Hunter, this is not how the Penguins wanted to go into set 5 timeout. Gail Stammer.
Not how they envisioned it at all, and Gail Stammer can't be happy with the way her Penguins have done a completely a 180 here.
Yeah.
Wide-eyed, unable to really have an answer, and Dixie State, a good team in their own right, no disrespect, but they're starting to feel it a little bit, and they're coming after Dominican.
Yeah, that's a very well said, especially after the Penguins kind of made them, well, I mean, if you look at the scores, was 25-22 in set 1. That was won by the Red Storm. Then the Penguins come back and get set 2, 19-25. Set 3, 23-25. Penguins lose. But then they do a big-time number on the Red Storm there in set 4, 25-15. You would think with all that momentum from 25-15, the Penguins would have the upper hand going into the final set 5, but they trail 4-0. The end of the timeout has come. Here's Bird on the way. Stocking with the set. Lee with the bump. Now Hannah flat-footed to the back row. Just has to clear it out. Now Wheeland with a killer, 5-0. Wheeland's getting it done in set 5.
Wheeland, who was really quiet in the last set, in set number 4, emphatically making her presence known.
Penguin fans are pretty quiet as well. Here's Bird leading by 5. Deep. Bird let it fly. 5-1. The Penguins get one back after the service error. And that's huge. Hannah to serve. Stocking, the senior, the team captain, the veteran. Also one brilliant server. She goes back row perfectly. Bumped up Wheeland. Blocked back at Wheeland's face. It's set up by Sorensen. And into the net by Maddie Rex. And now it's 5-2, and the Penguins got a little something going, 2 in a row, after losing 5 in the opening of this set 5. Stocking lets it ride. Young with the bump. Into the back row, all they can do is flat-foot it over. The Penguins are going to have the advantage here. Here's the back set to Wasco. She slams it to Anderson. Picked up right side. Young on the way. And the killer. Ooh, I thought Young picked up part of the antenna. She didn't. 6-2. And the Storm gets it.
Yeah, Young picking up right where she left off. 10 kills last time out.
Wheeland out. Wilkes is going to come back in her place. Wilkes to serve. She runs up from the back left corner. Takes it to Lee, left side. And the killer by Powelson is wide, 7-2 Dixie. And this is getting away from the Penguins quickly.
A lot of the same tendencies you're seeing is what happened in the Point Loma game.
Wilkes goes to Lee again. Now it's bumped and Hannah just has to bump it over. Flat-footed Rex. Penguins on offense now. Here's Powelson. She powers it over. Young softly into the middle. It finds the floor. The Penguins said it was down, but Sue Bernier called it dead. The ball's still flying and no whistles, and they give it to the Storm anyway. Storm point 8-2 fans. And the Penguins here do not look like the Penguins of set number 4. An entirely different look as Gail Stammer and the ladies are going to make their way to the other side. It's 8-2. The Penguins and the Storm will switch sides now, Hunter.
You search for answers, and it's almost dumbfounding in some regards because in that 5 games against Point Loma, almost the same thing happened. A good game through the first 4, and then in the 5th, the Penguins lost it. And early on, it's 8-2, but I mean, this is a must-win game. You have to have this one.
Yeah, it's not that early, is it? Wilkes will serve.
That's a good point. It isn't that early.
No,
especially when
not
you're
at
just
15.
going to 15.
Yeah, Stocking now with a bump and the set to Wasco. Back at her. The block is too tough off of the arms of Keeler, and that goes down. 9-2 Storm. All of a sudden, the Penguins can't do anything right for some reason. Wilkes to serve. She runs up on the end line to Stocking. They get it across, and again the block is the winner. Again Keeler with the winner off the block, Hunter, 10-2.
And another timeout by Gail Stammer. And you're looking at the Penguins just trying to figure out some sort of answer. Gail Stammer shrugging her shoulders over there. On the other side, though, Dixie State fired up.
Totally.
Momentum all on their side.
This is Amanda Wasco, right side outside hitter for Dominican University, and this is Penguin Radio.
It is Penguin Radio, broadcasting worldwide from Dominican University of California. Stuart Horn, Hunter Hornstein. We've got Noel Roldan working the controls here in set 5, 10-2. And the game only goes to 15, this decisive set 5. Dixie's fired up, and the Penguins are a little bit flummoxed. 10-2. After winning set 4, 25-15. It was all DU, all the momentum. Everything looked to be going the way of the Penguins. And just in about 5 short minutes, it all turned around. So now, can Gail Stammer fire up the troops?
2 huge blocks by Nicole Kohler, too, to end the last 2 points for Dixie State, in which the Penguins had an opportunity for the kill up front, but nothing doing, and that in itself can swing a momentum one way or the other.
Wilkes brings it, bumped up by Hannah. Lardner with a set, right side. And finally, after the words of encouragement from Coach Stammer, Powelson with a killer 10-3.
Well, whatever Gail Stammer said to her girls worked. Powelson got a good look there, a good feed, and a nice hit that the Red Storm couldn't do anything with.
Kwan now to serve as she replaced Rains. Keeler with a winner. So Keeler's getting it done on both sides of the ball. Not only blocking, but killing. 11-3. Red Storm ekes ever closer.
We're only 4 away, Stu, and like you mentioned, it's not early, and just a minute ago we were talking about how it was 8-3.
Yeah, and now it's 11-3. Uluave to serve. Lardner with a set. Wasco back row, it's deep. 12-3, and you don't see Wasco miss too many of those. That's not the first one she's missed long, the first kill attempt that she's missed long tonight, but very few. She has been a great get. 12-3 now, and a service ace as it comes off of the diving Powelson. 13-3, and now Dixie is 2 points away, and JJ's going to come in place of Wasco.
Stammer's going to make some moves, try to get some fresh legs, some fresh faces in there. Wasco takes a seat.
Susanna Pilkerton for the first time tonight, the 6-foot freshman.
Powelson takes a seat as well.
Uluave to serve it up again. Hannah with a bump. There's the kill attempt by Callan, and Callan
she got it.
Gets the winner. 13-4. The Penguins are alive. And Wasco returns in place of Pilkerton, who was on the floor for 1 point.
Wasco serving.
Wasco now. Penguins in a deep hole. 13-4. Left side. Wasco bumps it. Lardner sets it. Dinked across by Callan. Now back to Callan. She puts it to the other side. Picked up by the Storm. Left side Whelan. Bumped up JJ. Set. Wasco. Wasco with the winner. 13-5.
Wasco serving.
That looks so good. Wasco is right there. 13-5. Wasco with a nice serve over to the left side. Whelan bumps it. Picked up by Kwan. Now Lardner JJ. Back left, good. Doesn't fall. And the winner is slapped in there, Hunter, by Uluave, who came running in on it and found the middle. 14-5 set point, match point.
Mackenzie Bird will come back in for the Red Storm. She'll go up front as they look to really stun the Penguins here.
Anderson to serve it up. Match point, fans. Wasco with a bump. Lardner with a set. Jessica back at her with the winner. Jones keeps the Penguins alive. 14-6. Match point number 2. And here comes Powelson to serve it up for the DUs. The Dominicans need a lot right now. They need 10 points in a row or it's over. Uluave blocked by Wasco. Helped across Cullen. Penguins on defense now. They're in trouble. Whelan goes for the winner. No. Powelson bumps it. Short set. Cullen scoops it. No call. Left side Whelan again. Back at her. Off the top of the net. Helped by Cullen. 14-6. Whelan again with the smash at the top of the net. In the middle. Powelson gets a hand on it. Match over.
Dixie State.
Dixie comes back to win set number 5, 15-6, Hunter, after that tremendous set 4, which was 25-15. What happened?
An emotional game here at the Conlin Center, and the Penguins, who came into tonight 0-2 with an opportunity to knock off the 2-0 Dixie State University after roaring back in 4, in 2, unable to do anything with it. And really, night and day it seemed like in that set number 5, and a gut-wrenching loss here tonight at Dominican University.
Yeah, I mean, really, gut-wrenching is the only way to describe it, since the Penguins could only muster 6 points in the decisive set 5. Oh, I can't imagine they're going to have too many opportunities to get their first conference win as close as they were tonight and as good going into set number 5 tonight. I just can't imagine that they would have that many more opportunities to get it done here, and they fell apart. I'm not sure what, I mean, I have no idea what happened there in set 5, except the Red Storm had some lucky breaks and seemed to play better. The Penguins didn't play that poorly in set 5. Dixie just went crazy. Dixie played poorly in set 4.
It looked a lot like just the momentum. Once it got going for Dixie State, it was tough to stop. You can't, I mean, hate to use cliches, but once the Storm got brewing, there was no stopping it. And I think that, again, the Lady Penguins, they didn't play poorly. They didn't play bad. In
3 games they haven't played poorly.
In game number 3, 25-23, that's just because they dug themselves in a hole, but they were able to come back. And then in game 4, they win 25-15. They're able to come back, and they're able to put together these long scoring drives, and they're able to put some offense and play defense. I mean, it's really too bad that set number 5 went the way it did, because the Lady Penguins are playing some not just inspired volleyball, but some very clean, good volleyball. I mean, this is a very improved team. And, I mean, you look at Hannah Stocking with 16 kills, Megan Callan with 12. I mean, these aren't bad players at all. There's the talent. The talent is there.
The talent's there.
The coaching's, I mean, everything's there. Just for some reason,
it just seems like they come down to that 5th game, and the Penguins are going to have to learn to win. And once they do, I think they'll be unstoppable. I mean, they've made huge strides from last year.
Absolutely.
And all 3 matches that we've seen so far, conference matches so far this year, have been good. They have not been poorly played. The Penguins look sharp. They get to that 5th match, and I'm not sure now what can help them at this point.
Now they're going on the road, and they're going to play on September 27th, this coming Friday. They're going to play Point Loma, and they're going to get another crack at them. And I know that you thought that they played very well in that 5-set match as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to get an opportunity at them again. They're going to play Azusa Pacific, who right now is 1-0, and then they're going to see Dixie State one more time, this time at their place. So the schedule really, there's no really let-up, but it offers some redemption.
It does, and they went, as you mentioned, 5 with Point Loma, 4 with Baptist, 5 now with Dixie. They're just right knocking on the door, Hunter. And, well, fans, don't forget to tune back into our next broadcast, which is coming up against Hilo on Friday, October 4th, the 6 o'clock side out. Hunter and I will be here. Noel Roldan will be here as well.